Welcome to another session of Create with Emily. I feel like we've been doing this for so long, and I have something really exciting to show you all today, so I'm so glad you're here. So this week you've seen we are talking all about outer space and the planets and the moon and Earth and how everything goes together. Well, today we on Create with Emily are going to learn about the moon phases. But the fun thing about those moon phases are we're going to do it with Oreos. So let's talk about what you need for this project. I have a piece of printer paper right here. You'll see what we're going to do with that here in a second. I have a Sharpie. You could use any marker. This was just what I had. I have lots and lots of Oreos. So fun fact about me, I am allergic to gluten. So you can use normal Oreos, but I have these gluten-free Oreos because otherwise I would have a stomach ache. So we have some Oreos and a plastic spoon. That's it. 4 things: a spoon, Oreos, marker, and paper. So not very many things. And you get to eat cookies while you do it. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our paper, which I brought 2 down just in case I messed up, which it's okay if you do. And we are going to fold it hot dog style. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, hot dog style is when you have the paper long ways like this and you fold it in half like this. So this is a hot dog bun. If someone were to tell you you need to fold your paper hamburger style, it would mean you fold it this way. Okay, so we're gonna fold it hot dog style. And these don't have to be exact. The only thing this is helping me with is spacing out my Oreos better on the paper. So I have it hot dog style now. It's folded in half like this, so hot dog style. Now I'm gonna fold it hamburger style. So fold this in half. And then crease it. And then it's like this, see? Fold it in half. And I'm gonna fold it in half one more time. So there are 8 phases of the moon. And now that we have folded our paper like this, which I don't know if you'll be able to see it because of the glare, but now we have 8 little sections on our paper, so we know where to put the Oreo. So I'm gonna flatten it out a little bit. You can still totally see the divisions on here. And I'm gonna take my marker, and with my marker, I'm going to write the different phases of the moon in each square. So it's gonna go like you're reading a book. So it's gonna go left to right, and then you go left to right again. So our first moon phase is going to be right here. So I'm gonna put a number 1 in that box, and I'm gonna number all of my boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we are going to start with the new moon. So I'm gonna go ahead and write all of these out, and then we will get to the fun part of eating these Oreos to make them look like it is the moon phase that we are learning about. So the first one is new moon, and then it goes to waxing crescent, which some of these have some really funny names, but it kind of tells you what the shape of the moon will look like. And then we have first quarter. I'm just writing all these out. So if you're doing this along with me, see, I just numbered my boxes, and then I have all the names right here. And I'm gonna flip the camera around once in a while as we go. That way you can see it like you're looking at it, kind of like I am. Then we have waxing gibbous. After waxing gibbous, we go to full moon. So that is when it is the brightest. Then we go to waning gibbous. That means it's going away. After waning gibbous, we go to last quarter. So we have a first quarter and a last quarter. And then we have a waning crescent. Waning crescent. Okay, so I have all of my moon phases written out all along the bottom. So now it is time for the fun part. And I'm gonna eat some of these cookies as we go, but you might get a stomachache by the end if you eat all of them. So we're gonna try and see what happens. And I'm gonna go and tell you that it doesn't have to be perfect. And sometimes when you go to break apart the Oreo, the cream doesn't come off like on one side or the other, but if you give it a little twist instead of pulling it, that was pretty smooth. Okay, so see how I have like a lot of cream on this side and no cream on this side? I'm gonna try and use both sides of the cookie. That way I can not waste them. So I'm gonna take my spoon that I have here and I'm going to scrape all of this off. I'm actually gonna use this side because it's more solid, and that is going to be our new moon. So a new moon is just a blank, like nothing. You can't even really see a moon when it's a new moon. So this would blend in with the sky. So I'm gonna flip this over and we have our new moon. The next one is a waxing crescent. So a waxing crescent means it is just starting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my spoon and I'm gonna kind of draw with my spoon what I want it to look like. So let me see. See how I've drawn that line? Sometimes if I put my hand behind it with white, it's hard. I am going to keep this side, but I'm gonna eat all that. So I'm gonna carefully, see my cookie broke, but I think we can hold it together. These are pretty yummy cookies. Yikes, my cookie broke, but we're gonna make it work. You aren't gonna even be able to tell once you put it all together. Okay, so I'm gonna put my cookie back together. And you can't even tell. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna flip you guys around. That way you can see. You also get to see these pretty sunflowers that are on my table. See, aren't those so pretty? Okay, so now we have our new moon right here, which is blank, and then we go to the waxing crescent, which it's just, see how my cookie broke? But you can't really tell if you squish it together. So then we have a waxing crescent. So that means it is just, the moon is just starting to form on this left side. So I'm gonna flip you around again, and we're gonna move on to the first quarter, and that means we need another Oreo. So I've already kind of separated this one. We might save, I have some cream left over from the last one, and I'm just gonna add it to that because we might be able to save it. So first quarter basically means that it is kind of like a half moon. So if you cut a circle in half, it's just half of that. So I'm gonna draw with my spoon again. Oops. See how I just drew with my spoon right down the middle? And then I'm gonna scrape this other side off. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So look, here we have a half moon. Now, on the first quarter and the last quarter, they look very similar. The only difference is, so I don't know how it will look on your screen because it's reflected. So think of it as the moon is on, you know what, I have my waxing crescent backwards too. So the moon starts growing from the right side and then it eventually shows the left. So if I'm looking at it, my moon, this part over here, needs to be on the right-hand side. So I'll show you on my picture what it looks like. So see how the moon, it goes from blank and then it starts growing from the right side. And that is really just how it reflects from Earth. So we have first quarter, which is half, and then we're going to, okay, hopefully I didn't lose connection We're gonna turn my Wi-Fi off, but hopefully I didn't lose you guys. So make sure if you jump back on live that you say hi, that way I know you're here. So the waxing gibbous is a lot bigger, so I still have this cookie over here, but I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna eat the cream that's left. So we're gonna break another cookie. Sometimes they're a little stubborn. Perfect. Oh, my cookie broke. I guess I get to eat it. Okay, so this would be a full moon. We're not there yet. That is the next step. So, you know what? I might just keep this one for the full moon because this is like a pretty perfect full moon. I'm gonna keep that one. But we're gonna take a step back and we're gonna go to waxing gibbous. Oh, well, I did it again. I'm getting good at these, tearing these apart. Okay, so waxing gibbous is basically if you had the rest of the crescent, everything, but a crescent cut out of it. So let me show you. See my little mark right there? We're gonna leave the majority of the cream there and we're gonna get rid of just this little part right here. So just like the other one, our waxing gibbous is on the right. And then we go to a full moon. So let me flip you around. So we went from a new moon, a waxing crescent, in which that is shining, the sun is shining on the right side. Then we go to the first quarter, which is kind of like a half moon. And then we go to the waxing gibbous. And then we move to the full moon. So what is neat about these last three is that you, basically it's like the reverse of this. So I'm gonna turn you around. Let me make sure my phone stays. Okay, so a waning gibbous means that the sun is shining on the left now. So let's see what my cookie decides to do. Okay, good start. Now we are going to, instead of taking off the left side now, like we were in the beginning, we're gonna start taking the right off. So see how I've drawn that line right there? I'm gonna take off that little crescent and leave the rest of it. So this is called a waning gibbous. So we've had a waxing gibbous and a waning gibbous. And it goes the opposite way. So now that stays on the left. Or yeah, the moon is on the left now. So now we're gonna go to last quarter, which I have this right here, and I'm gonna see if we can make it work for last quarter. Last quarter is very similar to first quarter. And it, it's just like a half moon, but this time it's the other direction. So I'm just gonna spread this icing out, this cream in the middle, and make it look kind of like a half moon. And like I said, these do not have to be perfect. Whatever you want them to look like. So here is our half moon. And this time our moon is on the left instead of the right because we're on the last quarter. Now the next one we're gonna do is a waning crescent. And I have 3 cookies left, but no icing. So I'm gonna break apart another Oreo. So I think we have used 1, 2, 3. We have used 6 Oreos, but I still have like 3 cookie parts left. So basically you run out of Oreo cream before you run out of cookie. So I broke my cookie apart just like we did for all the other ones. And I'm going to make a crescent with my spoon. So I've drawn my crescent right there. You can kind of see the indent. And then you just scrape the rest off. Oops, my icing wants to come with me. Sometimes if you push the icing down, the cream in the middle, if you push it down against the cookie, it makes it easier. So it doesn't come off. Oops, I'm about to lose. Make sure you do this somewhere where it's okay if the cream falls on the floor or the cookie falls on the floor. So maybe your kitchen would probably be the best spot. Okay, so now I have my Waning Crescent. So this goes on the left. So I'm gonna flip you guys around one last time and show you the finished product of our moon phases. So you get to see my gorgeous sunflowers again, but we're gonna go back to the moon phases. So we have the new moon, which is a full moon. You wouldn't be able to see that because that would blend in with the sky. Then you go to a waxing crescent, which is very, very tiny, and each night it continues to grow until it gets to the first quarter, which is basically like a half moon. Then you go to the waxing gibbous, so it's getting bigger and bigger and basically leaves a crescent out of it. Then you go to the full moon, which is a full bright moon, and instead of all the moon, it's being on the left now, they're now on the right. So now we have a waning gibbous. So we got rid of everything but this little crescent right here. Then you go to the last quarter, which is just our first quarter and our last quarter. They're exact opposites of each other. So this side is just a half moon. And then we have our waning crescent, which is just a very teeny tiny crescent moon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little project. You get some sweet treats as you're learning about the moon phases. I mean, who doesn't love Oreos? Because I'm thinking I might need to get some milk out and have some milk and cookies after this to eat these Oreos. So make sure you wash your hands before you do this, and you are somewhere that it's okay if you make a little bit of a mess. Also, you might want to wash your hands after because I kind of have cookie crumbs all over me. So I hope you guys learned a little bit about the moon phases and enjoyed your little snack while we did it. So I'm gonna go get some milk and cookies, and I will see you guys next Tuesday for another fun activity. So make sure you join in the rest of the week to learn about outer space, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, thanks for watching.